Hello, friends from across the nation and around the world. I'm Martin, and you are listening to Dad's Bedtime Stories. Tonight, to make up for the one missed episode last week, I thought I'd bring us a bonus episode this weekend. Once again, this is a chapter of my book, which is currently titled Unbound Superhero Academy, which I've been releasing chapter by chapter in audio form on Patreon. So if you want to check out other chapters, you can head on over to Patreon and either purchase the collection for I think $10, which gives you all of the episodes, or just join Patreon for as little as $1 a month, and you get access to checking them all out, as well as anything else I post. This episode is still part of the welcome battles at the Superhero Academy, because apparently when you arrive at the Superhero Academy, they just they make you use your battle to battle all of the other first-year students. In this one, the main character, Alex, battles Zeke, who is a telekinetic. So, Time Manipulator versus Telekinetic. Now, it's that time again, so get as comfy as you can in that bed, close your eyes, and imagine yourself doing what the kid in the story does. Chapter 9, Zeke. "Alright, kid, time for the next one," Martin said. "Zeke, you're up." Zeke and Alex both stepped into the ring. Zeke looked like he was probably around 14. He was lean but clearly athletic. He had tousled brown hair with streaks of almost silver near the tips, possibly dyed to look that way on purpose. He wore the same protective outfit as Alex did, only his had 5 glowing stars, indicating that his power was already pretty strong. Now, well, stars certainly gave a power level for each given power. They weren't really a good use of comparing two powers together, because, well, sometimes one power just sort of trumps the other, even if the other one is generally more powerful. Zeke was pretty powerful. He had a power that many would consider to be telekinesis, and maybe it was. He did control things with his mind, he did sort of move things with his mind, but Zeke saw his power differently. What Zeke did was, well, he kind of tapped into the electromagnetic force of all atoms. The very real force that stops your foot from going through the floor. At the end of the day, most matter is really barely there at all, made up almost entirely of empty space. If it weren't for the electromagnetic force of atoms repelling other atoms from sort of, pressing into them, well, the world would be very different. Zeke learned a long time ago to tap into that force, to increase the negative charge, and to repel other things quite quickly. His discovery of the power was a little bit different than the others. Zeke loved sports, but he also had a secret love when he was a kid. Magic. Magic and mentalism. He'd watch every magic trick he could, figure out how to reproduce it, and spend hours in his bedroom making the trick look perfect. He'd watch video after video, researching how the tricks were performed and figuring out how to reproduce the effect. One day, he came across a particularly interesting effect. One where the magician levitated a pencil up in the air and spun it around in circles. Then they made it fly through the room as if it were a fighter jet, zipping around his dresser, dodging under his computer, and, generally doing a bunch of other incredible maneuvers that Zeke wasn't sure how he could reproduce. He watched the video over and over again. It looked real. He was pretty sure it wasn't manipulated or created by artificial intelligence. It seemed like a genuine video. Only he couldn't figure out how the trick was done. He couldn't add a string, he couldn't just sort of blow on it. The trick was way beyond anything Zeke was capable of. The next day, after a whole night spent trying to figure out the trick, he went to watch the video again. Only it wasn't there. In its place was just a message. This video has been taken down due to a violation of our privacy policy. That was weird. A video with an unexplained sort of telekinetic ability, and it had now been taken down. The inkling in Zeke's mind that what the person was doing may have actually been real magic popped up again. The fact that the video was taken down for privacy reasons didn't even make sense. Clearly, someone had reported it. Someone who worked for the government, or at least that's what Zeke decided. The only explanation he could come up with was that it was real magic, and someone was trying to cover it up. And as much as Zeke wanted to figure out who might have been trying to cover it up, he wanted to figure out the trick itself even more. So he sat down in his room with a pencil, and he started to do just that. He started by staring at the pencil, willing the pencil to just sort of roll forward a little bit. The pencil did not listen. No matter how much effort he put into it, it wouldn't budge even a little bit. Zeke took back to the internet once again, this time to an AI chatbot. He began to type in the search bar. If telekinesis really existed, how would it work? With a question mark. The chatbot gave a number of fairly good answers, but the one that stuck out in Zeke's mind was the one about electromagnetism. It explained that the only reason we don't pass through other objects is because all atoms have a negative charge, repelling each other. If that charge were to be manipulated, increased or changed in some way, this could cause a sort of telekinetic effect. Zeke stared at the pencil again. He lifted his hand up towards it, and this time, instead of willing the pencil to move with his mind, he tried to will his hand to, repel the pencil, to increase the negative charge that his atoms were already giving off, the one that wouldn't let the pencil pass through his hand in the first place. He tried to tap into that very real force that was already there. When nothing worked, he moved his hand closer to the pencil. In fact, he touched the pencil with his hand. He imagined his hand and the pencil not touching more than they even were. He imagined his hand vibrating with a negative charge, one with more power than it had before. and suddenly, the pencil started to wiggle. Then, it blasted across the table. Zeke had done it. He'd moved the pencil with his mind, or, well, at least by changing the electromagnetic frequency of his hand or something like that. Zeke did it again and again, placing the pencil on his desk and forcing it to shoot away using his hand. The more he did it, the better he became at it. He started pushing other objects away, first small ones and then larger ones, stuffed animals from his childhood, toys from his old toy bin. Soon, he was able to shoot almost anything across the room and away from him. He moved outside and tried the same thing with rocks, holding them in his hand and blasting them away without really doing anything at all. The more he practiced, the more the move became automatic. He could shoot things away with both of his hands. And then he decided to see if he could shoot things away with his entire body. Maybe he could create a sort of force shield of electromagnetic power around his whole body, repel anything coming in any direction. He went outside and placed objects around his body. He sat in the middle cross-legged and imagined his entire body repelling everything around it, in all directions, other than down, of course. He didn't want to end up floating or shooting up through the sky himself, and it didn't take long before he was successful, blasting the pile of toys and stuffies and rocks in every different direction. He practiced the move, standing and then suddenly performing it, a force blast that used his entire body. The whole thing was pretty cool. But when he sat down that night, he thought back to the video, to the pencil whipping through the room like it was a jet. He couldn't do that exactly. He could just sort of blast things away. How would he pick them up? So he sat down on the desk again, placed the pencil down once more, and decided it was time to move the pencil in the other direction. Up and down could wait. So Zeke held out his hand and focused on the pencil once again. But this time, instead of increasing the push force, the negative force, he tried to do the opposite, to suck the pencil towards his hand. It didn't take long for him to figure it out. Once he'd learned to manipulate the electromagnetic frequency of his atoms, he was able to do it for all sorts of purposes. He practiced pushing the pencil and then pulling it back towards him. He picked the pencil up, held it above his hand, and practiced the same, pushing it straight up into the air and lowering it down slowly. Next, he moved on to trying to pick up the pencil remotely. He placed the pencil on the desk and he walked to the other side of the room. He reached his hand out, focused on the pencil, and pushed away, rolling the pencil on the desk, then pulling towards him, rolling it towards him on the desk. He moved the pencil back and forth from a distance, and he did everything he could to sort of lock onto it, to find the place where the pencil didn't roll forward or move back, the place where it was stuck exactly where he wanted it to be. He felt the force latch on, holding the pencil in place. He lifted his hand up, and to his surprise, the pencil moved with it. It stayed the exact distance away from him that it already was, but wherever he moved his hand, the pencil moved as well. This was much closer to the trick he saw performed. He practiced pulling the pencil towards him, shortening the distance, and he practiced pushing it away, all the while holding it in a surrounding of electromagnetic force. He tried the technique with other things, his old stuffies and toys, and it worked. It wasn't long before he had toys dancing through the room, spinning around in circles. When he tried it on heavier objects, it was much harder. When he locked onto an object, it was as if he was lifting it on a giant pole from that distance away. Even an object that isn't that heavy is much heavier if it's much further away from you. There did seem to be limits to his power. And, like many other people who end up in the superhero program, Zeke wanted to find a way to share his power with others, to show other people what was possible, or perhaps what he was capable of. He began videotaping himself. He videotaped himself floating toys and stuffies through the air, and zipping a pencil around in circles just like the video he'd seen. But almost as soon as he posted it online, it was taken down for privacy reasons. He tried to upload it again, but he couldn't. He tried to edit different versions of it and upload those, but that didn't work either. Nothing worked. He gave up for the night and went to bed. The next morning, he had a little knock on his door. A knock from two men wearing almost identical black suits. Mr. Smith and Mr. Black. And suddenly, Zeke wanted nothing more than to attend a superhero academy out in the Canadian wilderness. Since that time, he joined up with Martin and began to train. Well, Zeke had started out as a mere level 3, able to push and pull small objects and lift up little things. With Martin's tutelage, he soon learned new aspects of his power. He learned how to manipulate the electromagnetic fields of other things to have them lift themselves into the air, a technique that allowed him to lift heavy objects, but admittedly took more concentration. He became faster, more powerful, and it wasn't long at all before he was a level 5. The very level 5 version of himself standing across from Alex, ready to do battle. Alex and Zeke both stepped back into their fighting stance. Alex began to think about moving faster, to will his very atoms to spin quicker, and Zeke charged his hands. Everything around Alex slowed down dramatically. He didn't want to take any chances and be caught off guard by Zeke's power. He willed himself to move as quickly as he could, causing himself to be on edge, borderline anxious and breathing very quickly. But in this state, at this speed, he'd be able to see almost anything Zeke tried. He watched as Zeke very slowly lifted his hands up in the air, pointed them towards Alex, and unleashed a blast of something. Alex couldn't tell what it was, but he could see some sort of force moving the air and the little dust particles around them. Alex stepped out of the way and began walking towards Zeke, who, again very slowly, unleashed another blast of energy, a blast that sort of rippled the air itself. Honestly, many of the movements would have been pretty much impossible to see if Alex was going his normal speed, but with his movement and perception at this very high level, he could see little things that he probably wouldn't notice otherwise. Alex dodged right, then left, and spun around behind Zeke, dodging every single one of his attacks. Alex moved to slowly punch Zeke in the head, again trying to move at a speed that would hurt him, take him out of the fight, but not so fast that he'd do irrevocable damage. He had to be careful at these speeds after all. But before his hand hit Zeke's head, he felt a push against his body, against the whole front of his body, and then he found himself very slowly, being pushed backwards. He tried to walk forwards, but he couldn't go anywhere. The force continued to press against him, and probably because of his speed, he was able to resist it somewhat. He was able to stay on his feet, but he still slid backwards. It felt like an unmovable force pushing against him. He slowly slid all the way to the back wall until the force passed through his entire body. It felt really weird, but it didn't hurt too much, at least not at the speed he was moving. His time density must have saved him from a blast that would have normally sent him flying across the room. Alex immediately began to run forward again, hopefully to punch Zeke before he could unleash another one of those force blasts. But again, he was hit with a blast of force, one even stronger than it was before, one that actually lifted him up into the air a bit. He couldn't do anything but watch himself slowly hit the back wall again as the blast of force again passed through his body, making him feel kind of sick to his stomach. Oh, that felt horrible. He ran at Zeke again, but this time he hit a wall of the same invisible force, one he couldn't seem to go past no matter how hard he pushed. Zeke very slowly lifted his hand up into the air, pointed at where Alex was standing. He focused his mind, and instead of trying to push Alex away, he manipulated Alex's electromagnetic field. He had Alex push against the ground itself. The result was Alex slowly lifting up into the air. He waved his hands quickly, but he wouldn't go anywhere. He tried to wave his feet, but he wouldn't go anywhere that way either. He was still moving at the same fast speed, but he couldn't do anything at all. He couldn't run, he couldn't move, he couldn't punch anything except air. Alex was essentially helpless. He could stay in this very fast mode and remain invulnerable to any attacks against him, but It all seemed pointless. He was captured and useless. He allowed time to return to normal. "All right, I give up. I can't do anything," he said. Zeke gently allowed him to lower down towards the ground. "All right, and the winner is Zeke. Now let's have you get a checkup with the medics here, and we're on to the next one," Martin said, a sinister smile on his face.